Welcome to another edition of the Focus program. My name is Paul Dingham. We are glad you are along. We've got three very interesting segments lined up for you today. We're going to be talking about reptiles and amphibians from the St. Clair River. That'll be an interesting one. Then some representatives from St. John River District Hospital to update and preview that wonderful dinner dance they have annually. And finally, we're going to hear about Community Action Agency up in Port Huron. They're moving and they've got some great plans, and they will have a representative there. But a friend, Kirsten Lyons, welcome back to the Focus set.
Thanks
from
for having me.
Friends of the St. Clair River.
Yes.
You're a very active group, and
Yes,
Sherry Faust is your president?
Yes, that's
from
correct.
The health department.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
you always got things going on with bird watching or looking at the river or stuff.
Sure.
What's coming up?
So the next big thing that's coming up for us is reptiles and amphibians of the Blue Water area, and we have a speaker who's a local naturalist.
Oh, okay.
And he really loves reptiles and amphibians, and so he's very knowledgeable, and we're very excited to host Dave.
What's he
Dorfman.
going to talk about?
He's going to talk about how you can go and look for and find more and learn about these creatures. And he's going to talk about how they're great indicators of environmental conditions.
Okay, that's the reason we know.
That's the reason they're important to us, is to learn that when we see numbers and diversity of these species, that we know we have a healthy habitat.
Okay.
Yeah.
If Lexi will maybe throw some of these pictures up on the back screen here.
Sure.
We'll talk about the pictures that you sent us and describe. Is this what he's going to be talking about, these kinds of things?
Yes, he's going to be talking about some of these
that's a pretty
species.
one.
Well, that's related to our winter bird blast, but I'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
So-
We'll come back to that one, Lexi. So go to the next one.
There we go. So that's a five-lined skink. A five-lined skink. It is a
Skink.
lizard,
Okay.
right? We only have two different kinds of lizard in the state, and that's one of them. That one's fairly common, and that was taken on my front porch a few years ago.
And are you along the river?
I'm not. I'm inland, but
And
I have a pond on my property, and I think that helps me maintain a good diversity
Okay.
of
What does this young fellow do? Does he?
The skink?
Yeah.
He eats bugs.
Eats bugs. Okay. Next one.
Bugs.
What's the next one?
That's also related to winter bird blast, so we can come back to that one.
Come back to that one.
Sure.
Okay. Next one. There we go.
There we go.
Oh, what a smiling
All right,
face
I bet you
he's
know
got.
what that is.
That's a frog.
Guess again.
A toad.
That's a toad.
Okay. I'm
Very
learning now. See, I got to go to this class.
You got it.
Okay, what's the Mr. Toad? Oh, look at this fella. Well, these are great pictures.
Well, thank you.
That's a snake.
They're just iPhone pictures, all of them. So.
Okay. Oh, look at
Use a
that big
smartphone,
fella.
You can get pictures like this.
Now, is Dave going to have some of these? with
I don't
him?
think he's going to have any live animals, but
Okay.
he'll have some nice photos, and he'll talk a lot about Michigan Herp Atlas.
Okay, what is that?
So Michigan Herp Atlas is where you can go and record your sightings of reptiles and amphibians. So
does the pattern on his body there indicate anything? Is it a type of breed or a type of frog?
yes, so that's a
Spots?
northern leopard frog, and they are classically, they call them leopard frogs because of the spots, right? So
Okay.
they'll always have those spots.
Now, I saw this one, but I couldn't establish what we were looking
So
at.
right in the middle, there's a little lump on the log, and
yes.
that's a Midland painted turtle.
Oh, it's a turtle.
Turtles are very skittish, so unless you have a really good camera with a long lens on it, you're not going to get great photos of turtles.
Was this taken in...
This is in Wetlands County Park in Port Huron.
Okay. And where is that park?
That park is at the south end of the Blue Water Riverwalk, also in Port Huron,
Okay.
which is just south. It's
Okay.
right along the shoreline, just south of the Black River.
Okay.
And
Go back to the other one
go back
first.
to the one with the duck.
Yeah.
So next to the left of the duck, can you see there's kind of a gray fat squiggle? That's a snake. It's a northern water snake.
Oh, yes, yes. On the
And this is
piling,
yeah.
just to the left of the bird, there's
of the
a snake.
duck. The duck is
Well-
not worried about it at all.
I would be.
Because that's not, yeah, well, a lot of people don't like snakes, but they're all harmless. The only one that we have in Michigan that's venomous is the Massasauga, and It's a very specialized habitat that that snake lives in, and they're very frightened of people. So it's
Okay, next.
very rare.
That's
That's
a
a
snake.
pickerel frog.
A
So
pickerel frog.
Pickerel frog, same genus as the leopard frog. It looks a lot like it, but usually when you see a pickerel frog, it's brown. Well, it's always brown when it's a pickerel frog. The green ones are leopard.
Okay, next. That's a snake, I
So
think.
that's a salamander, that shiny kind of
In the middle of the
crescent.
picture, yeah.
Yeah, in the middle of the picture. So these are, again, these are smartphone photos, and these were submitted by Craig Hof from the City of Marysville Department of Public Works.
Okay.
And
Oh, look at the size of that.
Yeah, so he knew that this was important. He knew that this was some kind of a salamander. He was out doing drain inspections, and he ran across this critter. And it's another one that, you know, that tiny little thing is a salamander. It does have 4 legs and a tail, and needs moist conditions.
That's
so this is
bucket full of
that's
snakes.
a bucket full of red-bellied snakes. Now you might think those are baby snakes, but those are adults.
Those are adult snakes.
Look, that's as big as they get. That's a 5-gallon bucket.
And
there's
again,
5
they're
snakes in
eating
there.
bugs?
They're bug eaters, yep. Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's a bigger one.
Now it's just zoomed in, and that one looks like it might be pregnant. Can you see how it's swollen and then it narrows down by the tail?
Okay.
So we're hoping for more red-bellied snakes in my yard.
Is there a big population of snakes in our area?
Well, these were all taken from in my own, not the snake pictures that you're seeing right now, were taken in my own yard, and I seem to have great snake
I'm not going to
habitat.
come and visit.
Oh, you're welcome to. The snakes would welcome you with
Oh,
open
the
arms,
snakes
yeah.
would, okay. Oh, that's a good-looking frog.
That's a tree frog.
All right.
Lots of people.
And
have
that's our
those.
bird.
Then we're back to the bird.
Okay. Let's talk about the bird then. Or you want that?
Sure. So the winter bird blast, that happens Saturday, February 24th, starting at 9 a.m. at the Don Dodge Auditorium at the St. Clair County Administration Building. And what that will be is we have a couple of Blue Water Audubon Society members and naturalists who will give a slide talk about winter waterfowl that you can see in the Blue Water area in that time of year. So that'll take about an hour or so to go through that slide talk. And then those experts and some helpers will take you out along the river. And it's just a car convoy. So everybody jumps in their cars and they go to, they won't know what hot spots they're going to go till that morning, because they're going to go check for birds before they come to the auditorium. So they'll decide that morning which 4 or 5 hot spots they want to visit with the crowd.
And what's the date of that one? February?
That's Saturday, February 24th.
24th.
Yeah.
Okay, a
So we're gonna
month before that.
teach you about birds and then take you out and show you birds. And then after that all wraps up, then at Studio 1219 we have a fundraiser painting party.
Oh.
And that long-tailed duck is the image that we're all gonna
And
paint.
that's the second picture we had up there of everybody with the
Yes,
cardinals?
everybody with the cardinals. So the first year that we did that fundraiser painting party, we painted cardinals.
Okay.
And everybody painted their own.
1 month to the day, the 24th of January, is when we're going to have our blue water reptiles and amphibians
That's right.
discussion with Dave at the St. Clair County Administration Building Auditorium.
Yep.
6 o'clock. Is there any admission to that? Or
Nope,
any-
that's free and family friendly, so grab the kids. Come on down.
Okay. St. Clair River is still clean?
St. Clair River is progressing very nicely, yes.
You're pleased?
Very pleased.
It's been
We're very
a
happy.
15, 20-year battle, hasn't it?
Well, it's, the Binational Public Advisory Council, which was charged with bringing agencies together to solve the big issues, has been working for 30 years.
30 years.
Yeah, so.
And you've done great, great work. But we want people to come and see why we've got reptiles and amphibians and what good they do.
Yes.
And it's absolutely free. It's a Wednesday night, January 24th, 6 o'clock at the Don Dodge Auditorium.
That's right.
Kristen, always a pleasure seeing you,
Thank
dear.
you.
Keep us informed.
Thanks for having
You've got
me.
lots of things going on in that Friends of St. Clair River, and they had your email address up there, so if people want more information, they can get a hold of you.
Yes.
Coming up next, we've got representatives from River District Hospital, and they're going to talk to us about the wonderful dinner dance they have every year that raises some money for the hospital. We'll be right back. There's an organization and building in St. Clair County that gets an awful lot of action and does an awful lot of good for people. It's called St. John's River District Hospital. We are fortunate enough today to have the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. H. Lee Batcheldor, and the Vice President of Nurses and Operations, Kim Ronish.
Yes.
Nice to see you both. Welcome to the Focus Set. You are a young man who just was on with Tom Shorkey.
I was.
That's on the air this week. It was a nice interview on the Conversation program.
Getting to be a regular here.
It's right. I like that.
He's a star.
No.
I'll bet you your own show.
Thank you for having us.
You could take over for the old Patty Samar show.
Yeah.
You've got a big event coming up for River District Hospital, which is called a dinner dance. Talk to me about what's happening and when that is.
So it's one of our two big fundraisers each year. We have the dinner dance in January and the golf outing in June. This is our 30th dinner dance.
Is it? Wow.
Yep. Used to be called Ethnic Night years ago. We used to have it at the St. Clair Inn and took the whole inn over, and
It was marvelous.
hundreds of people. And
Yep.
now we've migrated to Marysville, and we're at Alexander's in Marysville on January 27th.
Okay.
We honor a Community Leader of the Year, a Physician of the Year, and then this is the first year we're doing an Associate of the Year.
Okay, so one of your own
Yeah.
members. Doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily be a doctor, doesn't necessarily be a...
It's not a physician. We do a physician separately, but this is an associate. It can be anybody from a housekeeper all the way up to nursing
wonderful.
to anybody
That's
within
good.
the organization. So Kim put that in place, and I'll let her talk about that.
So every month, one of our leaders nominates one of our associates.
Okay.
And it may be for a specific good deed or overall good performance. And that person is presented with a certificate of achievement and recognized. And then this year, it's been really fun because we had all of the associates vote.
Oh, good.
Yep,
Good.
so none of us knows who the Associate of the Year will be this year. It'll be a big surprise. Only 2 people know, and they're not sharing, so we'll all find out on the night of the dinner dance.
Well, that's marvelous.
Yes,
That gives us some excitement and allure.
it does.
So it can be anybody that works on
Anybody, yep.
the
and the-
emergency room to the gift shop to
Yep,
the...
or even the
Yep.
physician offices.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yep,
So the family practice office is included.
correct.
Yep.
Oh,
All the
wonderful.
offices.
Yes, all the offices. So,
Great.
yep.
Each year, the dinner dance historically supports something that's going on at the hospital. What's that this year?
Correct. Well, this year we'll be raising funds for our infusion center.
Okay.
Which is where we administer medications to patients, chemotherapy, and it's not just cancer patients. It can be patients with lupus, patients
okay.
with rheumatoid arthritis.
Yeah, I
They
think the
need
assumption
infusion.
it was
so-
only cancer. But
Yeah, no, we see a lot of patients that are not cancer related too. So there's a lot of medications that have to be administered in the outpatient setting. They need specialized training to have it administered and techniques. So we have a center that we do that, and it's getting a little tired. So we need to improve the aesthetics of the building and the office.
Over the years, you've bought X-ray machines. You've bought lots of wonderful equipment that sometimes you just need a little bit of extra cash. So that's what this project is going to
It
be.
is. As you can imagine, patients who are undergoing chemotherapy or any infusion for that matter are scared. It's kind of it's a life-changing experience, and so we want that environment.
Fear
to
of
be
the unknown.
That's right. We want that environment to be as calming and as welcoming as possible. So that money will help us do that in a better way for our patients, and then also improve the space so that patients can flow through it easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
St. John's has been changing names around the southeastern Michigan from St. John X to St. John or Ascension.
Right.
What's
Right.
that story?
So their Ascension is our parent organization. It's national. It's the largest not-for-profit organization in the country, and they really haven't branded the facilities or their entities as Ascension, but over the last couple of years, they've decided to put a plan in place to kind of brand everybody as Ascension. So they're starting with Michigan and Wisconsin.
Okay.
Branding facilities. The first one to be branded in Michigan was Crittenden Hospital,
Right.
so it's Ascension Crittenton. And then we're all kind of rolling along, and we still really don't know what we're going to be called. We're going to have Ascension in the name, but we're not certain what that name will be. So
Okay.
it's still a mystery to us, and when we find out, we'll start.
Or let us know.
Well, they'll let us know, yeah.
The important thing for our community is that we are the same great care that we've always been. We just are probably going to be adding Ascension somewhere in that name.
We've got your website up, which is the page for the dinner dance. Talk to me about how I get a ticket and when is there deadlines and that kind of good stuff.
Well, you can buy a ticket probably up until the day of the dance, actually. But you can, down at the bottom, there is a number you can call, or you can email special events at special events at stjohn.org. I can't speak here.
Okay.
There's also a button that you can
Up at the top there, I think.
there, yep, to purchase tickets.
Okay.
They're $125.
Okay.
And they include dinner and then, of course, dancing.
Okay.
And there's some fun events at the dinner dance itself.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Good. And it's an evening to share Michigan Winter Wonderland.
That
I
is
like
our theme
Yeah.
this year, Michigan Winter Wonderland. So it'll be beautiful. The
And we're-
committee's been working hard on all the decorations.
It's an active committee. Yes.
And we're going to honor a wonderful community leader. So we always do a community leader of the year.
One of the best.
One of the best.
Yep.
And we are going to be honoring Mr. Paul Dingman as
you,
our
sir.
Community Leader of the Year.
I appreciate
And
that.
you are very worthy of that honor.
It's
right.
been
Thank
an
you
honor.
very
Thank you
much.
when you asked me.
That's right.
And it is humbling. There's been some wonderful people who have had this honor before. Mr. Neiman, Mr. The list goes on and on and on. And
We will join the legends.
join the legend.
Yes.
The institution of St. John River District Hospital is so important to the communities of Marine City and St. Clair that it's important to have people involved. And I guess that's why I'm involved. I see the value of it. So.
Yeah, more communities in St. Clair and Marine City. It's 7 communities actually started this hospital. Well, it started years and years ago, but there was 7 communities that helped fund it. Right. There was Algonac, Marine City, Clay Township, East China, St. Clair Township.
And the people
St.
paid a
Clair.
tax.
They did. They paid a tax, and then when St. John formally took over the organization and bought it, the tax went away. We'd love to have the tax dollars back, though.
That would help.
Yeah.
Well, I will talk to the politicians and see if they want to do that during an election year.
Yeah.
But, okay, and the doctor this year has been announced?
Yep, Dr. Sun, he's
Okay.
our hospitalist at St. John River District Hospital. He is wonderful. He's well known in the community. Patients absolutely love him. He's got a delightful bedside manner, and people love to see him every day. Patients come in and ask for him and write letters about how comforting he was and what a great doctor. So we're thrilled to have such high quality folks to honor this year.
January 27th, I think is the date.
Right.
It is.
You can go online
Yep.
and to St. John River District Hospital and go
Right.
on that webpage.
Right.
And
Yep.
click a button and you can join in the festivities.
Yep.
Indeed.
Entertainment, Rivertown Gents, and then
Oh,
Mr.
good.
Dingman's acceptance speech.
That's right. That's the highlight.
Thank you, Kim. Nice seeing you both.
Nice seeing you.
Now I've got to go home and write a speech. All right, we'll be back with our next guest from Community Action Agency in just a second. With us now is Melinda Johnson. Nice to see you. Welcome to the Focus Set.
Thanks,
nice
Paul.
to have you here. You are the Executive Director of the Community Action Agency, which has been around for a long time,
Have been.
but you're on the move.
We're on the move.
Where are you moving to?
We're hoping we're going to move for the last time in Port Huron. We're hoping to purchase Baker College campus.
Okay. Oh, it's not a done deal.
No, we haven't closed on it yet. We'll
Okay.
be closing hopefully by the end of this quarter.
Okay.
So we're
That's
very
a pretty
excited about
big
it.
campus.
Yes. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, yeah. And they're not utilizing it anymore?
They're not utilizing the entire campus, so for a while they'll be renting from us once we own the building. Right now I actually have some Head Start classrooms in there and I'm renting from them. And then we're going to flip the situation around.
You're going to give them a set of keys and they're going to give you a set of keys back and it'll be all
We'll be all good.
all good.
Yes.
All good. In case people don't know, Blue Water Community Action Agency, it used to be agency, right?
Yes, actually we used to be called Economic Opportunity Committee of St. Clair County Incorporated.
Okay.
That was a big mouthful. Then we
Right.
had a DBA for a while, and then I found out it took longer because then on formal paperwork I had to write Economic Opportunity Committee of St. Clair County Incorporated doing business as Community Action Agency of St. Clair County. So that was even worse. So we
Get
changed
rid of all that.
Phew. So we changed our name to Blue Water Community Action, and we've been around since about 1966.
And what do you do? What kinds of services?
We provide programs for low-income residents of St. Clair County.
Okay.
Primarily, we have some programs we do in other counties, but primarily we serve St. Clair County. Our largest is Head Start and Early Head Start. We have programs all over the county.
Head Start is one that's got a lot of publicity, and people are probably aware of it.
Yes.
And what's Early Head Start?
Early Head Start is we service pregnant women and then infants and toddlers and their families up to age 3. And we have one classroom. It's actually at Inkerby High School where we service 8 infants and toddlers there. And then we have an additional about 110 families that we service at their homes. Every week they get a home visit. And then they have group socializations twice a year, or not twice a year, twice a month. So they can socialize with other children and the parents can socialize with each other. And it's really about children learning how to be able to get along and share and those kinds of things.
Okay. So that's one, Head Start, and then the next one was?
Head Start and Early Head Start.
Okay, two.
And we also get funding from the state for Great Start Readiness, which is a preschool program for 4-year-olds that all of the school districts also have. And we work with all of the school districts, making sure that every 4-year-old that we can possibly get into programming, we get into programs.
Great Start Collaborative, is that part of what this is?
The Great
Or
Start
is that something different?
It's a little different, but it's all integrated. The Great Start Collaborative is also focused on early childhood. It's operated through RISA.
Yeah.
And they have committees and work that they do, and it's all integrated.
Good.
We also work very closely with the health department, and so because they have some home visiting programs that they have for for infants and toddlers as well, and pregnant women. So we all work together very closely and collaboratively.
Okay, and did I miss anything then? What else?
Those are our early childhood programs. We have lots of other programs that we operate as well. We have a weatherization program where we can weatherize home. We're doing, we help spend out the CDBG funds for the county, and right now we're targeting Elginak
and what
area.
are those funds?
That's to help homeowners with repairs to their homes, bringing them up to code, that kind of thing. So we have funds available for throughout the county, excluding the city of Port Huron because they have their own CDBG funds. So we work with Dave Struck at Metropolitan Planning with those funds. So that's fun. We've just getting ready to close on a loan here in a few weeks so that we'll have one that will be operating. So we do that. We have, we're the only community action agency in the country that we know of that has a protective payee program. We have about 200 clients that we handle their money for them, and we work closely with Social Security.
Probably a very good idea.
It's very helpful to them so that we make sure that all of their bills get paid. It allows them to be ensured that they're not going to be evicted because they haven't been able to pay their rent. It prevents family and friends and others from taking advantage of them and taking their money.
What are the requirements to be involved in that?
Well, anybody can actually ask to be in our money management program and pay your bills. It's cheaper than 1 or 2 late fees on a credit card.
Correct.
That gets expensive. A lot of our clients are referred to us by Social Security because they're concerned about a client. So that's where we get a majority of our clients.
Is there a cost to that program?
Yes.
For the client?
I think it's $37 a month is the fee. And that we pay all of their bills and make sure they get personal money and whatever else needs to be done along
That's pretty
those
cool.
lines.
How long has that been going on?
We have been doing that for probably over 20 years.
No kidding.
Yep.
That was one that's, as they say, slipped under the cracks. I haven't heard about that
It's
one.
well known in the community of the folks that are needing it. So
Right.
that's really important. We have commodity distribution program. We have month to month for seniors and then quarterly for any low-income people. We operate out of the Armory up in Port Huron. We help people who sign up for Medicaid pick which plan they want because there's more than one Medicaid plan, and we actually cover 5 counties for that. We do home buyer education. For a while, unfortunately, we were very active doing mortgage foreclosure prevention.
Yeah.
That, the
It's
good signs
seemed
of
to
the
wane.
economy are that's going down, and home
Good.
buyer education is going up. So we're really excited about that. That's a good thing. Another great program is we're doing youth financial literacy, working with young people 14 to 18, teaching them basic skills. Yeah,
Guys
just
out
like
here.
these young people here, helping them learn how to handle money, things that we probably learned in basic
Right.
econ classes, but they don't offer those as much anymore. So we're working with lots of kids, teaching them how to make sure they're safe and know what to do when they graduate and get out in that world, and hopefully not make the same mistakes we've made and get too much in credit card debt.
Right. We
so-
all know that.
Yep. So those are some of the programs that we offer. We took over last year the backpack event, or 2 years ago, that the Women's Initiative at the Community Foundation was doing. And we work with East China School District
Right.
and Quebec and Yale schools. And then we have one in Port Huron.
How many people work for you?
I have just one or two under 100 people,
100 people.
almost about 100 people.
Marvelous.
We have Head Start classrooms all over the county. So that's a great thing so that
And
we
so-
can
and
service people.
The need for the building was you had some office, you had lots of places.
Well, the need for the reason we're looking for a new building is because we move a lot.
Yeah.
So I have classrooms in different places, churches and schools, and we'll get in and then they need the space for something else.
Okay.
Or I'll get money and can do an expansion or I can change things. So almost every single year I am opening and or closing and moving classrooms. It gets expensive and licensing regulations have really
Yep.
increased a lot in the last 10 years, and so it gets very expensive. I have classrooms where the kids are playing in parking lots or in public playgrounds that do not have any fence around them, and I'm working with 3- and 4-year-olds that like to take off and run.
No.
And so it can be, it's
Yeah, dangerous.
a little nerve-wracking
Yeah.
for us sometimes. So we're looking for a place where I can take my greater Port Huron area classrooms. I have 14 in 7 different locations right now, that we can put them all in one location. Our main office, which has moved multiple times over the last 50 years, is currently located where the old Spikes Furniture was.
Yes.
Knowlton's Foundation owns the building, and they have their ice museum on the main floor,
Right.
and we're up on the 2nd floor. But most people don't even know we're there
No,
unless
right.
you're looking for us. And so we don't really have brand recognition with a facility, so this will really help that.
I don't know if Lexi's thrown up the picture of the building at Baker College, but throw it up again, Lexi, and let's look at this campus. It's a beautiful campus.
It's
It
gorgeous.
was built not too many years ago.
Well, no, actually, it's 3 buildings. I don't know if you know that. It's 3 separate buildings.
Right.
So that's a picture of the center building, which was the one that was built, I believe. And that's where our main office will be, is in the center building. And this was taken, this picture was taken by a good friend of mine, Chris Gearhart from
Oh, he's
Eighth Day
wonderful.
Media.
Wonderful guy.
And he went and he took what's currently there, which is the burgundy or red color that Baker College has, and he redid it in the blue that we love, and then somehow worked his magic with Photoshop and stuff and pixeled and put our.
He's the guy to do it.
Oh, he's amazing. I
Chris
love that guy.
Gearhart. He's a
So
great guy.
so that's where our main entrance will be. So that's what I'm calling the central building. The building to the west was a banquet hall at one time. And
I don't remember that.
yeah, and then further to the west, there used to be the roller rink. Maybe you remember the roller rink that was there. And so that's parking lot now. But the building to the west is already, we have half of it rented already by Community Mental Health. They're doing their ABA program in there, which is wonderful. I'm so excited. And once we get a new playground built, their kids will be able to
What's
access
an
it as
ABA
well.
program?
It has to do, I think, with their autistic kids coming
Mm-hmm.
in and getting, or on the autism spectrum, and getting special services through them. And so we're going to have, special playgrounds, one for the preschoolers, and we'll have another one for infants and toddlers. We will be moving 14 classrooms in there. We'll be able to reopen an early Head Start classroom. We haven't had one in a few years because we had to shut down. So we're very excited, and we are working on raising money.
And that comes to this. So this is the brochure.
This is our capital campaign brochure.
And talk to me about the capital campaign.
Well, we're trying to raise funds to help offset anything that I can use to reduce the amount I have to take out on a loan. It will help so that we can use the money for programming rather than paying loan payments later. So our first phase is to get the classrooms ready and to move our main office in there. Our second big phase will be we want to add our own commercial kitchen.
Okay.
Because right now we contact through Council on Aging, which is wonderful. We get great food. But we can't do things in our classrooms like we could 20 years ago. So if I want to have a celebration because it's Dr. Seuss month and we want to do green eggs and ham and cook green eggs and ham, I can't do that because I'm not in locations where I have certified kitchens. So we have issues with doing things like that. I can't do cooking classes with our parents, and we have found that's to be a need. So there's some things that we'd like to be able to do, and we'd have more control over the food that we're offering the kids. And if we've got the flu has wiped out half our kids, I can reduce the amount of food I prepare. So all that's real helpful for us money-wise as well. But then what we'd like to do is we only need it 9 months out of the year to cook breakfast and lunch. And we'd like to make it available for the community to use the kitchen or to have a kitchen incubator. We have a lot of folks who work at the farmers market and sell things under the cottage laws, and they cap out, which means they've made all they can make out of their own kitchen legally and sell it. Where if they have a commercial kitchen that they can come and use, they can increase their income and sales through the sales of whatever it is they're making. So evenings, Fridays, weekends, and all summer long, we want that kitchen being used for something else. So that's the second phase to the project as well.
Okay. Lots of things going on, but the move is on, and you need some support to change some things. And people can get more information at bwcaa.org. It's a very simple webpage, bwcaa.org.
They can.
And we're glad you came.
Thanks. I'm glad I came too.
Good. Melinda Johnson is the lady's name. Excuse me, the executive director of the Community Action Agency. And she's doing great things in the community. That's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Thanks very much for tuning in. Till next time, I'm Paul Dingeman. See you soon.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingeman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.